Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Kane. Today I'm sharing a double 8.5 by 11 layout, playing along with Series 18, Christie's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches. Today's sketch is by Amy Joy, and I'm going to use Close to My Heart Stash. I also have 5 little photos, which are about 2.5 by 3. Some of them are a little bit smaller than that, but I did size them down so that I could fit them on one 8.5 by 11 layout. And I have a cut file that I cut, and it's a mountain cut file, so it has the mountain scenery at the top and then a lake at the bottom. And I'm going to use that instead of flowers. And then I also have 2 4x6 photos. These are when we went to Estes Park. I had started doing these photos last year. I actually have 2 videos up on my YouTube channel from last year using the same collection, and I created 2 other layouts. And then this is the third layout in the series. I will have one more. I thought I was only going to have this one here, but I will actually have one more. And then these photos will actually be complete in my older son's album. So here I'm just showing you all the pieces. I have lots of scraps, and I also have some wood veneer pieces from MK Gun. And I have an acrylic piece that says Adventure from Colorcast Designs, which I am going to get on this layout. And then I have another little wood veneer piece from MK Gun that I'm going to bring in later. I will show that when I bring it in. I have 2 sticker sheets from Close to My Heart, and I am going to use pieces off of both of them. And some of the papers are from both collections. They're not just from one collection. That orange piece is actually from Minte. I decided to bring that one in instead of this orange cardstock piece from Close to My Heart. If you watched my channel before, you know that I really don't like cardstock. Usually I like to use pattern paper if I can. That brown one there is actually from Echo Park. Everything else is from Close to My Heart if I didn't say it came from somewhere else. This one here is actually from P13, and that's going to be the background. These 2 wood grain pieces are from Close to My Heart also. So here I'm going to show you how I'm going to paint the cut file. So these are Shimmer's paints, and they come in these little pots. Some of them you have to add water to. I add water to almost all of them. And basically that just extends the life of them. They last a really long time. They're definitely worth the money. Um, but I have quite a few colors. I'm using the Bumblebee for the yellow. And then the greens are 3 different greens that I have in my stash. And I will give you the names if you're interested. But most of them are just, they are all shimmers or inklings, which means they have a little bit of like shine and glimmer in them. And I did speed it up. I don't paint this fast, but I just wanted to keep it in to show you how quickly you can alter a cut file. And you will see that they will curl up as I add the liquid on top of them, but they flatten back out because I'm going to add pattern paper behind them like you would a regular cut file. Once I get done painting them, I'm painting them first, and then I will add the paper on. So this one here is Penny for Your Thoughts. That's my favorite, like brown color, because it's more of like a gold copper, not gold, more of a copper brown versus just a regular brown. So it gives it a little bit of shimmer and shine. I like the shimmer and shine. That's why I like Shimmer's paints. So here I'm going to bring in Coal, I believe is the next one. Oh, actually, I think I'm going to get some of the blue ones. I didn't take out all of the paints like I usually do. I took them out one by one and then just kind of sped it up. This one here is Oaky Bear Blue. It's quite dark. I just used just a little bit of it. The bottom part's going to be water. So what that is that's the reflection of the trees in the water. So I wanted it to be a little bit blue, but not too much blue. I didn't want to add a whole lot of blue to the bottom because the sky is going to be at the top. So then that means I would add blue at the top also. So instead, I decided to go around in black all the way around the cut file on both the top and the bottom. And it's in coal, and coal is a little bit lighter than actual, like if I used black acrylic paint. And I'm okay with that. It actually comes off more of like a gray tone, and it's fine. In the end, you'll see it on the layout. It definitely pops off the background, and that's what I was going for. Is I definitely wanted it to have a definition all the way around the circle. So here's the little mountain piece, and that's the brown Echo Park paper, and I'm going to add that right behind the mountain cut file part. And then I'm going to add a yellow piece from one of the close to my heart scraps that I had for the yellow sun. It almost matches perfectly, which I kind of wasn't going for it to match perfectly because then it'll blend in, but it looks okay. And here's the blue paper that I decided to use for the sky. I decided to go lighter blue for the sky and then darker blue for the water. And the water actually has like little stars in it if you look closely because it's actually like a nighttime sky paper. But it's okay. It looks like water. I went with it. And I really like the way that the cut file turned out. So here I'm going to get started putting the layout together. I cut this wood grain piece approximately 4.5 inches, I believe is what it turned out to be. And it's going to go right through pretty much the middle, a little bit lower towards the bottom than the top because the top part of the circle is wider than the bottom. And I made it wide enough so that I could put my photos across, and I can also put another little title piece. So it's actually going to look more like an oval instead of a circle. But I'm okay with it. I like the way that it looks, so I'm just going with it. And here I'm going to, what am I doing? Oh, I'm putting the little clouds on the cut file before I lose them. I did use metal dies to cut out those clouds. You can get those dies from Amazon. That's where I got them from. And they are kind of small. There's a few that are a little bit bigger than that, but they're perfect to use like on top of a cut file or just add a little cloud detail in a scenery. So I really think they're cute. I like them. Here I'm going to add a little bit of ATG on the back of this one, and I'm going to add in a little bit of liquid glue on the ends because the ends are smaller than my ATG tape. So I need those to stick down, and I want those to be as flat as possible to the paper. So here's all my 5 little photos, and I'm going to mat each one of them in a different color of paper. And I was using a lot of the scraps that I had. I don't think I cut, oh no, the green paper I cut into a full one, but not really because I used it on the other side too. So it's okay. I have plenty of paper, and especially close to my heart paper, I'm just trying to use up what I have. So I'm okay with cutting into a 12 by 12 for a little tiny piece just to mat a photo. It's okay. It's just paper. Use it, get it in your albums because I love looking at it in my albums versus in my stash. So at first I was going to lap them over like that, but I was covering up too much of the second photo and the fourth photo. And the second photo is my best friend's daughter, and the fourth photo is myself. And we were standing by this large rock that's at the top of Pikes Peak and taking our photo. And then the other photo is my best friend's husband and her little girl, and they're walking down part of the trail. They come back up, but they're just walking down part of it. And then my son is actually standing by the tracks, and there is a, what do they call it? Like a rail. It's not a train. It's a little like, oh, what do they call that? I don't remember what it's called, but it goes up the side of the mountain, and you can take that up to the top of Pikes Peak. You can hike to the top of Pikes Peak, or you can drive a car. We drove a car to the top of Pikes Peak, and it is a 14er, So driving up and driving back down is kind of scary. Um, of course, driving back down is scarier than driving up, but I wasn't driving, so I wasn't too worried about it. I would love to take my younger son to Pikes Peak, but as of right now, he doesn't really have interest of going there. Maybe that will change by the end of summer. I would love to take him because he's actually 13. So he's the same age as my older son is right now in these photos. But like I said, he doesn't really have any interest of going right now. So we'll see. Maybe by the end of summer. But that little wood veneer piece there, it says let's get lost. I only want the let's part to show, and then I'm letting the W cover up the get lost part of it. And it's okay, it peeks through, but you can't really read it. You can barely read the let's part, if I'm honest, but it's okay. I like the way that it looks, and it adds a little extra something to the layout. I am popping up all of the letters of Wander up on foam tape, and I cut my nails recently, so it's really hard getting the double-sided tape off. So that's why I sped it up so fast, because it does take me quite a while to get that back off. But I'm just going to add the letters right back down, and they're kind of wonky. I didn't want them to be straight or anything like that. These were cut out from the sticker sheet. There was a large sticker on the sticker sheet that was like a 4x6 almost, that had Wander on it, and I just cut those off. This paper here, the wood grain one, I actually tore, and I used the like engraving of the wood grain paper to tear my paper. So I tore it exactly the way that it's printed on the paper so that it would make that shape. In the sketch, she has like two banner pieces over there on the right hand side. So instead of doing the banners, I did that paper tearing because I thought it kind of looked neat with our outdoors photos instead of the banners. So that's what I'm going to do. And I couldn't decide exactly where these 4x6s were going to go. The bottom one is not a 4x6 anymore. I did trim it up a little bit, so it's a little bit shorter. It's probably 4x5 if I had to guess. I'm not very good at keeping track of the measurements. I just cut them down to the way that I like them and then add them to the layout, in all honesty. Um, so the away I'm going to use on this layout because I like the color of it. So I decided to add the acrylic piece adventure right on top of the photo and then add the word away. So adventure away. So each page really has a title on it, and I'm okay with it. It's fine. I really like the way that it looks, so it's okay. And at first, I thought I was going to put those tickets on the right side. I'm going to end up flipping them over to the left-hand side. And that's because I'm going to add a cluster down there at the bottom uh, right side. So I wanted the cluster to be at the top left side. So there is a rhyme and a reason for that one. And then I'm just adding all of the colors up there at the top. So I want the green, the orange, a little bit of yellow, that tealy blue color, the regular blue color, and then the brown, like the little dragonfly up there at the top. And the reason I'm adding the dragonfly is a nod to my dad who passed away, but his favorite thing to do was to go on adventures in Colorado. Anywhere in Colorado, he was always driving around and finding new places. We had been to Pikes Peak many times as a child and a family because that was his place to go, was to the mountains. So here I am, I'm done with the layout. I'm going to hold it up and show it to you. That bottom cluster has little trees and another little wood veneer piece that matched the inside of that circle, which is from the sticker sheet. And it says, leave the road, take the trails, which I thought was kind of fitting. Here's a little close-up of the painting that I did with the Shimmer's paints. And I really love the way that that turned out. And definitely will be doing that again on another cut file. That was so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed today's layout. I definitely enjoyed using the sketch. Thank you so much, Amy, for putting your sketch out there so we could follow along. I will have a link down below for 30 days of sketches. I will also include links to the other layouts that I created with this collection if you're interested. And I will see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe. Bye!